Guys, what if your dream home turned into your worst nightmare? Discover the Broaddus family's terrifying experience with the Watcher of Westfield when they moved into their new house. This story is based on true events. In 2014, Derek and Maria Broaddus were thrilled to buy their dream home in Westfield, New Jersey. The house was a beautiful, old, colonial-style building in a quiet, safe neighborhood. It seemed like the perfect place to raise their 3 young children. But before they even moved in, something terrifying began to happen. One evening, Derek was at the new house, finishing up some painting, when he decided to check the mail. Among the usual bills and junk mail, there was a plain white envelope addressed in large, unfamiliar handwriting to the new owner. Curious, he opened it, and what he read sent chills down his spine. The letter began innocently enough, welcoming them to the neighborhood, but it quickly took a dark turn. The writer, who called themselves the Watcher, claimed that their family had been watching the house for decades. The letter said, 657 Boulevard has been the subject of my family for decades. I have been put in charge of watching and waiting for its second coming. My grandfather watched the house in the 1920s, and my father watched in the 1960s. It is now my time. The Watcher knew things about the Broaddus family that no one should have known. The letter mentioned the Broaddus children by name and asked, "Do you need to fill the house with the young blood I requested?" The letter even pointed out specific rooms in the house. Who has the bedrooms facing the street? I'll know as soon as you move in. Derek was terrified and immediately called the police. They came to the house, read the letter, and began investigating. But there was little they could do. The Watcher hadn't signed their real name, and there were no fingerprints on the letter. The only clue was that it had been mailed from a nearby post office. The Broaddus family decided to delay moving in, but the letters kept coming. Each one grew more threatening and detailed. The Watcher described the family's daily routines and asked strange, ominous questions like, "Have they found what is in the walls yet?" And, "I am pleased to know your names now, and the name of the young blood you have brought to me." Maria was so frightened that she refused to let her children visit the house. She imagined someone watching from the shadows, waiting to harm them. The fear consumed the family, and they began to lose sleep. Derek and Maria started to suspect everyone around them. Could it be one of their new neighbors, a previous owner, or someone who had a twisted obsession with the house? The Broadduses hired private investigators, but even they couldn't find the Watcher. The letters kept coming, and the family's fear grew so intense that they decided to sell the house, despite never having moved in. They sold it at a significant loss, desperate to escape the nightmare that had taken over their lives. To this day, no one knows who the Watcher was or why they were so obsessed with the house. The letters stopped once the Broaddus family left, but the terrifying mystery remains unsolved, haunting anyone who hears the story.